Welcome to the third video in our free video series on staying focused and getting rid of frustration at work, brought to you by Schedule Focus. I'm your host, Mac. In our first video, we learned from Stephen King that the secret to being productive at work is getting your process right. In the second video, we learned that however bad you think interruptions are for productivity, they are way worse than that. In this video, we are going to look at what causes interruptions and what you can do about it. As we learned last time, there are three kinds of interruptions: distractions, life, and other work. Distractions are a nuisance, but they only get in the way if you let them. Life happens, and when important things come up in your life, you should take care of them without feeling guilty about it. That leaves other work. This is the worst kind of interruption because you can't easily ignore it, and it happens all the time. Let's think about a typical work calendar. If you are responsible for getting things done at work, the items on your calendar aren't work. They are the other work that keeps you from getting work done. And here, we should draw a distinction. In most organizations, there are two very different kinds of work. One kind is where you need to execute on particular tasks. In other words, you need to get the work done. Let's call that creation. Another kind of work is work where you need to meet with other people, such as customers, investors, stakeholders, or colleagues. Let's call that coordination. Your calendar is quite good at helping you manage coordination. And if your job is mostly or entirely about meeting with and coordinating with other people, it's a significant help to you. But if you're responsible for creation, then all the coordination items on your calendar are other work interruptions that keep you from creating the great work your organization needs. On top of that, because they don't have visibility, the coordinators in your organization will constantly be wondering, when is it going to get done? And this sets us up for a downward spiral of frustration and failure. Because we don't have good tools to solve this problem, we end up scheduling status meetings and putting project management tools into place. While status meetings can be very helpful, and project management tools can make things efficient, too many status meetings create countless other work interruptions, and project management tools permit us to keep track of so many to-do items that the need to constantly switch focus between all those items makes yet more other work interruptions, which makes it harder and harder to create, and that makes the coordinators more and more anxious about when is it going to be done, which creates more status meetings and more to-do items, and round we go. Does any of this sound familiar to you? And it's worth saying that all of this is even more difficult if your team is remote. If everyone is in the same office, your coordinators can at least walk around your office and try to notice whether creators are able to do focused work without constant interruptions. But when everyone is remote, every ping to see whether creators are doing focused work is, of course, another interruption. So let's imagine a different world where these problems are solved. In fact, we don't have to imagine it. It exists today. That world is the world of the factory floor. In a factory, there are various machines that create different products. In a factory, the machines are the creators. And those machines have schedules. If you look to see what is on those schedules, though, you'll see a very different kind of schedule than you see in Outlook or Google Calendar. The majority of what is on the machine schedule is time dedicated to doing creative work. Machine operators in factories know the cost of interruptions. They work hard to keep their machines on task and use the machine schedule as a tool to help them switch the machines from one task to another as little as possible. In exchange for using the machine calendar to achieve this focus, they get more work done and shipped to customers. And they can just look at the machine calendar to know when any given piece of work will get done. Simple. So achieving focus at work can be done, at least if you're a piece of machinery. But what if you're a person? In our next video, we'll talk about how people, like Stephen King, have built a process that allows them to focus. And we'll see how you can do it too.